All right, so practice problems today. So right now, what I want you to do is work on these first four on your own. You're writing, or I guess typing in this situation, 2 word phrases that represent each algebraic expression. So you can always, if you need help on what words to use for each operation, you can always go back to slide 2, because those have a couple of words for each operation. And you can also look at other slides that we have done word phrases in, and whatever you all want to do. But there are slides you can go back to for help. So we're just going to finish off these 3 slides that we have left, because we're not going to do the coefficient slide number 9. We're just going to ignore that because we're not even going to learn about coefficient right now. So after we do this, we will be working on task cards today. But I want to get through these practice problems first, then we'll get to their task cards. See that everybody at least has the first one done. So you can keep typing. On the first one, we got 5 plus G. So what is one word phrase we can do, Bailey? The sum of 5 and G. All right, another word phrase. Natalie? 5 more than G. We can also do 5 greater than G, 5 plus G. Those are 2 more that we could have done if you did those. All right. Yeah. Number 2, 3 minus H. Hannah. The difference of 3 and H. It is 1. What's another one? Leah. H less than 3, and I'm glad you remember that H came first in that situation. I hate when it does that. There we go. All right. Number 3, Bailey. The quotient of K and M. All right. Addison, what's another one we could do for number 3? Quotient of K divided into M groups. All right, another one we can do is just K divided by M, or K split into M groups. That also works as well. All right, and number 4, Adrian. So just 6 times M? Okay. 6 times M. What's another one we can do? Danica? The product of 6 and m? Product of 6 and m. Yes, Natalie? M 6 times. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Yep, that's a good one. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. So now we got 5, 6, 7, and 8 to do. So again, you're doing 2 word phrases. Remember, if something is in like number 7 where it looks like it's in a fraction form, what operation is that? Division. So remember that that's division. Looks like a couple of these have more than one operation. So your word phrases are kind of going to be longer than usual because these have like different or 2 operations being used. So here, let me do one of each just so we can get an idea. And then I'll let you come up with another one. Okay? All right, so if we're looking at number 5, I got 4 plus 2g. So one thing I could do could be like, I could just make it easy and do 4 plus 2 times g. Pretty simple. 4 plus 2 times g. Meaning, if you want to you can also use other words that we've been learning too, but that's just like one example we can do for that one. Number 6. Again, I can just make it simple. I can say 3 times y minus w. I'm taking all the simple ones. And then like on number 7, we can do 4 times k divided by 2. And then this one, how we would type this out because we have an exponent. We are actually taking 3 times x to the power of 2. That's how you would do a word phrase for exponent. It's you're taking to the power of whatever number is being used as an exponent. All right. What I want you to do is just come up with another word phrase. Try to do a little bit different than what I did. I know I took all the simple ones, but there's plenty of other words you can use for these. That's fine. And no matter what, it's going to say to the power of 2. There's only one word to use for our exponents. Or you could actually, instead of to the power of 2, you could do to the second power. That's a different way to do an exponent. It's like the power of 2 or to the second power. Me too. Huh? Because yesterday was more like a Monday for you all.
Did you put 3 times 6 squared?
For 3 times 6 squared, is that what you said? Or x squared? Yeah, you can do 3 times x squared. Oh, that's another one you can do for that. I'm just going to look over and see what they have. Okay, so And I'm going to let you share if you have something different than what's up here. Looks like on number 5, they have the sum of 4 and the product of 2 and g. Did anybody do something like that one? No? Okay, and then there's also 4 more than the product of 2 and g. Did somebody have something different? Hannah? Four more than 2 times g. That's another way to do it. See, when you got like 2 operations being used, there's like multiple ways we can do word phrases. Does somebody have a different one than any of the ones mentioned? Okay. On number 6, we did 3 times y minus w. I did that one. There's also w less than the product of 3 and y. Anybody have anything different? Nope. You can also do w less than 3 times y, or you can do the product of 3 and y minus w. Any of those would work. Those are just a few examples. Number 7, they have the product of 4 and k divided by 2. There's also 4 times k split into 2 equal groups. Does anybody have a different one than any of these? Or are all these pretty similar to what you all have? You can also have the product of 4 and k split into 2 equal groups. You can kind of combine the top and bottom. Or you can have, I'm trying to think, or taking the quotient of 4 times k and 2. That's kind of a different one we could do. Number 8, they also have the product of 3 and x, because x squared is the same as just having x times x. So that's actually like, because where that's multiplication being used also. So that's why they're putting x and x. There's also the product of 3 and the square of x. Bailey? 3 times x to the second power. Or you can do like 3 times x squared, or the product of 3 and x squared. There's just a few different examples we can do on these. All right. Let's go back over. So what's the last one I want us to do? Okay, so I'm just going to give an example they have for this on writing a situation. So writing a situation is just kind of like our word problem in a way. So we have 2a plus 3b, so let's see what they have for this one. Okay, so the example they have is apples cost $2 and bananas cost $3. So what is the cost of A, apples, and B, bananas? So they're saying that apples were for A and bananas were for B. So, yeah, type this one in. Type where it says, don't do the answers will vary example, just do the apples cost $2 and bananas cost $3. So pretty much like, if we were trying to figure out, say we were buying like a certain amount of apples and a certain amount of bananas, then this expression will help us figure out how much it would cost total with the amount of apples and bananas we cost. Because say we bought like, I don't know, 4 apples and 6 bananas, then just like when we learned how to evaluate an expression, we would plug in the amount of apples we bought and the amount of bananas we bought to figure out the total cost. So, and there's all kinds of different examples you can do for this, but this was a good example that they had. So that's the one I want you all to type. Yes, as soon as you get done typing this, you can turn in this assignment. Actually, wait. I have the task cards attached to the same topic. Or is the task cards different from that one? Okay, the task cards are different. All right, then yeah, turn in this assignment. No. We don't know what A and B are. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and turn in the notes. And then after that, we'll head on over to our task cards and I'll kind of talk about those and do a couple of them with you. I do recommend having a piece of paper and pencil out though, or pen for our task cards. Who's still typing this right now? Okay. Let me know when you're done, Adrian. Huh? This is all we're putting for this one. We can't figure out an answer because we don't know what A and B are. You good? Okay. So head on over to task cards. You'll go to classwork, and then under October 22nd through 23rd, the assignment I have is 1023, reading task cards. So in the task cards, I gotta pull it up. All right, so when you have to log in the same way we did the task cards before. You'll log in with your Google account and make sure you put your first and last name when it asks you to type a name. Or has it asked you? Oh, it didn't?
No.
Oh, because it automatically. Yeah, okay, that's because it automatically has your name.
And then it automatically gives you the code.
Okay, that's good then. So, never mind on typing in names. I guess because where we did task cards through this before, it must have saved names or something. All right, so the reason I want you to have a piece of paper and pencil or pen is because our answer sheet, our recording sheet, isn't until the end. And I don't want you to have to do a bunch of back and forth. So I want you to be able to write everything first throughout the task cards, and then when you get to the end, everything you wrote down, you'll be typing out. So make sure that you label your answers by the number of task card you're on. Okay? There's like 20 total. If we don't get done with all 20 today, that's fine because we had to finish our notes first. But we can try to get through as much as we can. But I will help you on a couple of these right now. I'll work just a few of them. All right. Let's look at number 2. Oh, wait, before that, if you see something that says write a situation, don't write a situation. Just do a word phrase, okay? If it asks for you to write a situation, ignore that and just write a word phrase, okay? So, like number 4, it says to write a situation. Don't worry about that. Just do a word phrase like we've been doing. All right. If we're looking at number 2, we're going to write a word phrase for this algebraic expression. So if I have 10 over y, what operation am I using? Division. So what could be one word phrase we could do with division? Bailey? The quotient of 10 and y. So that is one thing you can do. You all know some other ones you can do. There's like, huh? We're on number 2 right now. Oh no, 2. We're just doing one word phrase. You can do the quotient of 10 and y. You can do 10 divided by y. You can do 10 divided into y groups, or you can do 10 split into y groups. Any of those will work. So while y'all are writing that down, number 2, it looks like a fraction, like it's in fraction form, which means it would be division. What was it? 10 and y.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just doing it. You don't have to go ahead to this. This is just for my NTI students at home so they can see what we're talking about.
Can you put 10 square in the library?
Yes.
Oh, who's got the video yet?
I've been on the video.
She started it at the very, very beginning of the class and she started.
Yep. And then like on cards like this, or just ask for like the operations. It's just like when we were doing slide 2 yesterday, and it gave us a word, and we were figuring out what operation goes with that word. So that's what you would be doing for that. Y'all want to do 5, 6, 7, or 8 on this one? Like, you want me to do 8 with y'all? Okay. No. 6. Okay. So 6 is going to have 2 different operations we're using. What 2 operations are we using? Multiplication and addition. So what is a word phrase that we could do for number 6? 5 times p plus 2. That's one we could do. We can also do the product of 5 and p plus 2, or the product of 5 and p and the sum of 2. Or actually, you could do this. No, yeah, the way I said that.
What is
Huh?
I can't see what's the number.
You should have it on your screen. Or number 6. So it's like page 3, number 6. I'm gonna skip over. Oh, it took away my answer. Well, that's fine. What did I say it was again? 5 times p plus 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder why it took away my answer like that. It's weird. It's a good thing I don't have y'all going back and forth on that, because the answer disappears. So it's a good thing you're writing everything down. Maybe it's because I'm on preview. I don't know. All right. Let's see.
If we type it and then go back.
Huh?
Like if we type it on there and then like go back to the slide.
It stays on yours? Okay, maybe it's just because mine's in preview mode. All right. Okay. Let's look at number 11 on page 4. What operation is represented by the key term doubled? So if you're doubling something, what operation am I using, Addison? Multiplication. So number 11 would be multiplication. Okay. Ooh, these are a little hard. All right, let's look at number 17. Sorry, I'm skipping around. I'm trying to just do some of them to help y'all out. So if I'm looking at number 17, how many operations do I have going on in 17? I got 3 going on. What 3 operations do I have going on? Yep, multiplication, subtraction, and division. 17. Yep. Page 6, number 17. All right, so looking at that one, I can type out or write, in your all's case, 2 times m minus 9 divided by 4. 2 times m minus 9 divided by 4. That'll probably just be the simplest one to write down. I mean, you can always use more of the other words, but that's pretty much the simple way to do this one. Huh? Say it again. 2 times m minus 9 divided by 4. Pretty much the way you look at it is kind of the way you would write it out. And then if you're looking at number 18, that's a pretty easy one. All you're doing is just, we're doing multiplication and exponent. So you're just saying something like, this is just my example. I can say 4 times g to the power of 4, or you can say to the 4th power. Natalie? Yeah. Like, remember when we were doing slide 2 yesterday and we had all these words and we were figuring out what operation that word meant? That's what it is. It's asking, like, if you're looking at that word, what operation would mean that word? You just tell me what operation. Like, between those 4 operations I have on the board, which one of those would go for that word? All right. You all should be pretty good on the rest of it, right? Okay. Just remember, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. All right, and my NTI students at home, if you all have any questions, you can reach out to me in email or private comment me. And I will probably do a Google Meet during my 7th period planning today, so I will do reminders throughout the day and post that later.